Welcome back, guys, to another Tuesday here at the store. It's the beginning of the week for us. We got nothing going out, but we have the tattoo parlor moving into the last spot in this strip mall. They had a ton of stuff in there. We picked a few things up for our store. Let me show you that stuff now. So what we got, which is kind of interesting because we are a retro game store, so you know we got to have some retro tube TVs in here. Two 27-inch TVs, both work. The AV ports, the RF ports all work on them, which is really cool. And besides the TVs, there was also a VHS player in there as well. It tested it. It works. It comes with a copy of Oliver and Company from Disney. Woohoo! And the last thing that we got was a smaller TV, but it actually has a VCR built into it as well, and it works really well as also. So guys, it's 7 o'clock. It's time to go. Fairly slow today. We had a couple people come in, though. A father and son traded some stuff in, which was kind of nice. It was some NES games like Mario, as well as Zelda, which was really cool. I think Star Trek, the 25th anniversary for the NES, was in there as well. It's always nice to get NES stuff in because we don't always see it. Also, here's a few things that we sold. We sold Chessmaster 10 for the PC, Dead Island and Darksiders 2 for the PS3. The father and son, they picked up like 3 or 4 Game Boy Advance Dragon Ball Z games, as well as Star Wars Clone Wars Seasons 1 and 2. We also sold a Splinter Cell for the GameCube. We sold a complete in-box copy of one of the F-Zero games for the Game Boy Advance, which was pretty nice. So now, guys, stay tuned for Wednesday. Well, guys, it is Wednesday. We're back here at the store. Unfortunately, nothing's going out again today. So what I'm going to be working on today, the quarterly sales tax is due. So I'm going to go in and calculate all that stuff. It's about $800 and some odd that's got to go to the state. Something, if you guys have ever created a business, I would highly recommend, if you're in retail, every week have a separate bank account and put the money that you do in sales tax into another account. It makes it so much easier. You don't have to scrounge for money. It's already there waiting for you to pay the state. Well, guys, it is 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Not a bad day today. We had still quite a few trades today as well. We got some really good DS and 3DS games like Super Smash for the 3DS, a couple Mario games for the DS. Really happy to get that stuff. So here's some of the stuff that we sold today. We sold Dragon Quest Rocket Slime for the DS. We sold a 32 meg GameCube memory card, as well as 2 controllers and 2 extension cables for the controllers. We sold a Wii sensor bar, a Wii gun. It was just the shell that you put a Wiimote in. We sold the Wii remote for kids. It was a little yellow, almost looked like a play school remote. We sold that today. We sold a couple DVDs. Like maybe 4 or 5 DVDs today. We sold Star Wars Clone Wars. We sold a Dragon Ball Z game. We sold a couple of Game Boy Advance games. Super Return of the Jedi for the original Game Boy. Need for Speed for the GameCube. And Sonic Mega Collection also for the GameCube. We sold a Power Rangers game as well. I think it was Dino Thunder for the GameCube. Star Trek Next Generation, it was a loose cart for the Genesis. Chessmaster 10th Anniversary Edition for the PC. We sold Dead Island and Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe for the PS3, as well as W2K14 for the PS3 as well. Back to the Future for the 360. So now, guys, stay tuned for Thursday. Welcome back, guys, to another Thursday at the store. We've got a few things going out. So one thing that's kind of interesting, let me share that stuff now. All right, guys, we're going to start out with some DVDs. We got True Blood, I think it's the first season. We got some movies. Got a couple, 3 PS3 games, WWE 2K13, Resistance 3, and Call of Duty 4. A couple more movies in here. That is Abducted, Kidnapped, and Brutalized. We've got a season of Robot Chicken. We've got a Lone 360 game and a beautiful pink cover art for it. And we've got a Wii system with a Wii remote. Here is the kind of interesting thing. Yes, it is a Chinese knockoff system. It's called the Game Station. But the cool thing about it is it's a very cheap way to be able to play the Japanese Nintendo games or Famicom games. It's got a port on the top. I tested it with some of the Famicom games I had here, and it worked, which is really cool. And for like 15 bucks, you know, it's a really, really cheap way to be able to play some games you may not normally be able to play. Well, guys, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. It was a very, very slow day today, unlike Wednesday, which was actually not bad. A few things we sold. We had a gentleman come in. He picked up Bill Walsh's college football for the Sega CD. He was looking for some Sega CD games. We actually had a 3DO come in. We got real close to getting it, but decided to keep it. We weren't doing cash at the time. We could only do trade credit, but he did pick up a game from me. I think it was a golf game, really cheap, like a $5 golf game. The gentleman who picked up the Bill Walsh's college football for the Sega CD also picked up Keith Courage for the TurboGrafx 16. That is the gentleman who brought in the Laserdisc player that had the attachment for the Sega CD, as well as the Genesis. He also brought that TurboGrafx CD system in. He actually got it fixed, so he picked up a, like I said, Keith Courage for that system as well. So now, guys, stay tuned for Friday. Welcome back, guys. It is Friday, and today I declare it Dragon Ball Day because we have got a ton of Dragon Ball DVD box sets coming out for you guys to take a look at. So let me show you that stuff now. Alright, guys, let's start with these DVDs. A lot of horror in here, some pretty decent ones, and I thought these were kind of interesting. We've got the Attack of the Monsters as well as Gamera the Invincible, another Gamera DVD. And here are all the Dragon Ball DVD box sets. We got 3 for Dragon Ball GT. We got quite a few of the original Dragon Ball Z Season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got some movies here that were Dragon Ball Z as well. Again, just tons of Dragon Ball stuff. Really happy to get this in because people show a lot of interest when they come in here, specifically the anime people, for Dragon Ball stuff. And then at the very end, we have got 3 Game Boy Advance games. Had to have a few games. Pokemon Fire Red, a Yu-Gi-Oh game, and Sonic Advance 2. Well, guys, it is Saturday. We have 2 massive big boxes to put out. We're going to go ahead and start working on that. As soon as I get it all set up, I'll let you see all that stuff, guys. And we will not talk about Friday. It was a horrible day. So now let me get working on the stuff for today. Alright, guys, here is box number 1. We've got a single GameCube game, Gun. We've got a couple 360 games, Need for Speed Nitro for the Wii. A couple of original Xbox controllers. They are first party blue. They're really good shape and they work. Here is the original Xbox that they came in with. Also works real well. We've got 2 PS2 Guitar Hero guitars. Again, both working. Nice stack of original Xbox games. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Jaws are probably the 2 best out of that group. Then we have got just 2 lone PS2 games, nothing to really talk about. And here is box number 2 of stuff. We've got some more horror DVDs here. That top one is actually kind of a out of print rare one. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis from '81. I think it's kind of a horror thriller with her in it called Road Games. Got some really nice Game Boy, original Game Boy games, Super Mario Land, Donkey Kong, as well as Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES, a few Game Boy Advance games, some decent Xbox 360 games, all in really good shape. Got a couple Wii's that can go out with all the hookups. This is kind of weird, kind of oddware. It is a Cirque Glide Point desktop. It's basically just a touchpad, but it is PS2, so as you can see, that is ready for Windows 95. A couple Game Boy Advances, original ones, pretty decent shape. A GameCube controller, and then some PS2 memory cards. Well, guys, it is 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and go home. We had a decent day. I wouldn't say it a great day. We definitely got to start doing better than we have this week. It's been pretty slow. Here's a few things we sold today. We sold a Wii sensor bar. It was actually used. I was actually using it on my system. They called and asked if we had one. It was the only one I had. She said that was fine. Only charged, like $7.99 for it. Our first Gen X system, that is the Sega Genesis Nintendo aftermarket system, it sold today. We sold a Xbox 360 battery cover. For the first time in a long time, we sold a PS2 steering wheel. We also sold Castlevania Lords of Shadow strategy guide, a couple DVDs, a couple Nintendo Power magazines, as well as Mortal Kombat for the Genesis. The gentleman who picked up the Gen X system picked that up. Then one of our regulars came in. He picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES and Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. So now, guys, stay tuned to the last day of Sunday. Welcome back, everyone, to another Sunday here at the store. It's the last day of the week for us. Hopefully we'll have a good day. We got a few things going out. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what they are because it's only a few things. We have an N64 system with an extra controller going out, a Super Nintendo with an extra controller going out, with about 3 N64 games. One of them was Quake 2, the other one was the GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, and a racing game, I believe, just a generic one, like a $4 or $5 game. So guys, when things pick up, I'll let you know. Well guys, it's 4 o'clock. We had one heck of a day today. We had over $200 just in trade credit coming in, almost a little over $300 in sales total. It was over $500 gross, which is crazy for a Sunday because that might be our best Sunday yet. Pretty exciting considering how bad the last few weeks have been. Here's just a few things we sold. Like I said, it was 13 sales, averaging about 40 sales per customer. We sold a USB GameCube controller for the PC. We sold Sorcerer Hunters. It was a DVD box set, anime DVD box set that one of our buddies picked up. We sold Batman for the original Game Boy. The gentleman also picked up a Retron 5 from us. We had a couple come in. They picked up Pokemon Coliseum for the GameCube as well as Herbs for the GameCube. We had another couple come in. They picked up Simpsons Hit and Run for the PS2, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Capsule or Capsule Monster Coliseum for the PS2. We sold a PS2 system and a PSP system as well. So guys, thanks for watching.